joined by the members of the Crystal Reports Influence Council. We have Brian Durning, Henry Kam, and Mandeep Jassal. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you, Courtney.
Thank you, Courtney.
So I'm hoping we could start by talking a little bit about just what this Influence Council is. What do you do here?
Well, from the ASUG side, we partner with our customers that are ASUG members and get a voice collectively to ASUG on to Crystal SAP for what they like to see product-wise in upcoming releases.
And how does SAP use that feedback, Henry?
Sure. So I'm part of the solution management organization, and my role is to help determine the vision, strategy, and roadmap for the Crystal Reports product family. So what I do is, I take that feedback that we get from our Influence Council members, and then I help determine the overall strategy that we're going to be utilizing. And then I work with my product owner counterparts in Mandeep to help deliver solutions that meet the business problems our customers are facing.
So that's an important thing to point out. We have representation from SAP and representation from the customer side on these influence councils.
We do.
So tell me a little bit about why you decided to volunteer.
Well, for me, it was a natural extension of what I already do. I'm the Crystal SIG chair, the special interest group with ASUG. And when ASUG was presented with the opportunity to start an influence council with Crystal Reports, I thought it was just a great natural extension of what I currently do.
For me, I'm actually act more as a participant and present to the council and actually get the feedback and be able to take that feedback and incorporate into our products.
So when my business intelligence solutions group decided to create these influence councils, I naturally jumped at the opportunity because for me professionally, I really need to understand how our customers are utilizing their products, what business problems they're trying to solve. So I just love talking and interacting with customers, understanding what their pains are and how we can go about helping them.
And that's a really interesting point, is this is a council that was really initiated by SAP, right? And not by ASUG members, which I think is the typical way that influence councils come about. Why was this one different?
Well, I think in our product, we have lots of different types of users that utilize the product. So not all of them that we know about. So it's good to try to find a diverse set of people and understand how they're using the product differently. So the more feedback, the more data points that we can get, the more it makes my job easier.
Right. And Brian, you talked about this as being an extension, or seeing it as an extension of the Crystal Report SIG. Can you tell us a little bit about the difference between a SIG and an influence council?
Sure. So if I look at a SIG, I look at the current version, understanding what is in the product, how to better utilize the current report. For the Influence Council, we like to see roadmap and how we can enhance the product to make it more viable for business needs in the future.
So that's a great jumping off point for our next question, which is, what did you really hope to get out of this council this year from working with the ASUG members?
So for this year, 2011, we were very much focused on validating what we developed for our next minor release. So, for example, one of the areas of focus was a feature called Styles, which Mandeep worked on.
Yeah, so one of the things that we did this year was we had a POC done on a new feature we're working on around theming and styles and Crystal Reports. So I presented the demo to the council and received valuable feedback from the council that I can hopefully use and incorporate into some of the design decisions we have to make.
That's really interesting. So now what are some of the focuses for 2012?
From the ASUG side, I want to make the Influence Council remain relevant. I want to make sure that a customer has a single voice to SAP, that they feel that they can put in any input to us, that it is valued and heard by SAP, and to make sure that I keep the continued partnership with SAP, make sure that it's strong, that we get feedback both ways.
And what about from SAP's side?
So we're putting the finishing touches on BusinessObjects 4.0 Feature Pack 3, which we got a lot of feedback from the Influence Council in 2011. So for 2012, we're going to be focusing on the subsequent minor release that follows up from that.
Okay. Will Feature Pack 3 be an enhancement to Crystal Reports? Can you give us a preview of some of what's coming?
Sure, yeah. So some of the things that we're going to have is new visualizations that Mandeep is working on. So we've got some new chart types. We've got some new data connection options as well. So nice, very interesting features that customers have been asking for.
That's great. Anything to add, Mandeep?
Just in 2012, more presentations, more demos to the council, get as much feedback we can get and incorporate that into our next minor release.
And Henry, you have a session coming up in just a little bit.
I do, yes.
At 1:30, what will you be talking about there?
I will be talking about what's new in Crystal Reports for the BusinessObjects 4.0 release.
There you go. So if anyone's interested in that, that session will be available online too. So thank you so much for joining us and for having such a great conversation about this very important product set.
Well, thank you, Courtney.
Coming up next, we will have a conversation with Tammy Powless. If you don't know Tammy, and you probably do, you should. Stay tuned.